So today we're going to address tips from the trenches. We're going to address performing at level 10, reviewing the Miracle Morning book, and then I'm going to wrap it up with Mortgage Minute with Dan. But before I do that, I want to kind of recap an amazing last week. So last Tuesday, we got to host Hal Elrod, author of The Miracle Morning, here in Seattle. And I had the privilege of spending 2 days with Hal and getting the opportunity to sit down with him and have some in-depth conversations, not only about what he's gone through, but what he's done to date to be a best-selling author, best-selling speaker, coach, trainer. And you know what? His story is nothing short of not just a miracle, but amazing. So today, during the Tips from the Trenches section, I'm going to give you some of the feedback that I heard from other realtors and attendees that came to his event on Tuesday, but more so a couple of things that I learned from meeting with him. But first off, I want to jump into Tips from the Trenches. And this is kind of an old school, I guess, sales strategy, but it's working for me, so I want to share it with you. And if you've heard of Brian Buffini, you're well aware of his pop buy strategy. And about 7 or 8 months ago, I started rolling out pop buys with my past clients. It's worked brilliantly, and I want to share it with you. So the first thing in pop buys is you need to identify your A-plus clients. An A-plus client is a client that you've done business with in the past, and they've referred you one or more times in the last 15 months. In the last year and a half, they've referred you one or more times. And what a pop buy is in my business, my A-plus clients get a pop buy from me every 3 months. They get a handwritten note card and a phone call from me once a month, okay? So that's kind of how I treat my A-plus clients. You may treat yours differently, but as far as a pop buy is concerned, once every 3 months. It works. It's a great way to stay top of mind, and going into the spring market as things start to heat up, it's a great opportunity to be top of mind with people that already like you, know you, and trust you, okay? So that is Tips from the Trenches. Performing at Level 10, the book review of Miracle Morning. If you haven't had a chance to read the book, do it. If you haven't had a chance to book, or even if you have had a chance to read the book, let me in 30 seconds summarize where you need to be as of this week, and that's through Chapter 2. You know, basically the intro and the first 2 chapters of The Miracle Morning summarize Hal's experience, what he went through. Hal was hit head-on by a drunk driver in 2001. He was pronounced dead at the scene. He was revived by EMTs, and when he got to the hospital, numerous doctors basically said that he would never walk again, and that he suffered from and will suffer from short-term and long-term memory loss. You know, it was Hal's mission while he laid there in the hospital and he recovered to prove the doctors wrong, to walk again, and to regain his short-term memory. You know, one of the quotes that I heard Hal mention, or one of the things I heard Hal mention, which to me is now a quote that I'm going to use, is that while he was in the hospital, he focused, when doctors would come and talk with him, he didn't focus on what the doctors thought was probable. He focused on what he thought was possible. You know, and that made a huge impact to me the other day, last week, listening to Hal speak, and not just for me to think about and to apply in business and in life, but imagine yourself lying in a hospital and a doctor basically telling you from his experience and from medical statistics that it was probable that he would never walk again. And it just shows the power of not only positive thinking, but being in the right mindset, what is possible. And so I kind of wanted to share that with you. I wanted to wrap up today the end of Chapter 2. He talks about 5 things that really got him not only through recovery, but to making massive impact in his recovery. And it started with every day he read. He read something inspirational, educational, motivational, but he read. He put positive things in his mind. He then had positive daily affirmations. Every single day he wrote down, you know, what he affirmed to do or to be. He then visualized daily. He visualized his morning routine, his recovery, his successes that he was going to have. He journaled. He wrote down things. He wrote down to-dos. He wrote down positive achievements. and he wrote down people or things that would help him achieve his goals. And then lastly, he exercised. He got he got oxygen to his muscles and to his brain, and he put his body in motion. And those are some of the keys that led to his success. So, in summarizing the intro and the first 2 chapters of The Miracle Morning, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'd encourage you to read the book. I'd encourage you to learn more about Hal's story, and definitely let me know if you have any questions. Now, wrapping up today, something happened last week, and I wanted to wrap up the Mortgage Minute with Dan with this experience. You know, my wife belongs to a site on Facebook called Besties. It's a private group. It's a group of about, I'd say almost 10,000 local women that buy, sell, barter, and trade things on Facebook and within the group. And last week, a bestie is what they call it. The group is called Besties. A gal posted a question to the group, and it said, who has used USDA financing to purchase a home, and if so, what was your experience? And the response and the remarks under that status question or status update blew my mind. My wife showed it to me, and I couldn't believe some of the remarks from real estate professionals that were in the group and just people that have knowledge of, applied for a USDA home loan or used one. What they commented and the information that they shared, none of it was accurate. It couldn't have been further from the truth. And the unfortunate thing is that particular person got bad information from people that she actually knew and liked and possibly trusted. And so what I wanted to encourage you today is, as a real estate professional, you don't need to know mortgages. You don't need to understand financing to a T. You do have to have an idea. And what I would encourage you to do is align yourself with a mortgage professional like myself, for example, that is creating commentary on a daily basis, creating mortgage and educational commentary or content for you as a real estate professional to hand off to customers. I could not believe that 20 plus people were so skewed on the idea of USDA home loans. USDA home loans are the foundation of my business, my mortgage practice. It's one of the top programs that I sell, and I was absolutely appalled by the comments suggesting that that program is such a complicated and tiresome program. So, I would encourage you to learn more about financing in your field. Align yourself with a professional like myself that can help you dispel those myths. If you have any questions or if you'd like to do an online interview with myself, I'd be happy to do that with you. And let's get the word out to the public, the truth out to the public on certain programs. Enclosed in this email, I've also sent you the link to my USDA Mortgage Resource Center so that you have all the facts right in front of you. And you know what? At the end of the day, I love talking mortgages. I get paid to close loans. I close loans at a very high level, and so I'd love to be a resource to you in your practice. So please, don't ever hesitate to call me. I'm here to help. And in the meantime, get into this book, read this book. It will have impact in your life. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay? We'll talk to you later. Enjoy your coffee this morning and have a great miracle morning today.